Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Good afternoon. Today is the 21st of March and this is part 4 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2025 Practical Classics Classic Car Restoration Show here at the NEC in Birmingham. I do apologise in advance if I fall over, if I get interrupted by announcements, if this video is absolutely terrible. I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. So we have here a very nice Rover 3500S. This is a 72 or 73. Most of the S models in this country were manuals. This is no exception. I think it's actually open. We'll have a look. There we go. I've driven the P6. It was a 67 2000 automatic, so a bit different from this. Different interior and things. There we go. There's the 4-speed manual. They're actually really nice cars to drive these. They're not even that expensive, really, what they are, I don't think. This one is 10 to 12,000, one of the sort of nicer ones. It's done 67,000 miles. So it's in fabulous condition. Well, it looks like that to me. Next to it, something else from exactly the same year. This is a 73 MGB GT. Same price, don't we estimate, 10 to 12,000. This has had an 1860 cc engine fitted with a fast road cam. Does look quite nice. Then a 2000 BMW, not 2000, this is 72 actually, but one of the immediate precursors to the E12 5 Series, what we call a Neue Klasse. This is estimated at 15 to 18,000. Absolutely amazing to find one of these like UK spec. They're pretty rare cars when they were new. Much rather, of course, be buying like, I don't know, a Rover or Triumph or something like that instead. But somebody bought one of these and I'm glad they did. Another 73 MGB GT, and again from same sort of estimate, 10 to 12,000. Unusual colour, I forget what this is called now. Oh, is it citrus green or something? I can't remember. Same family from Nuvo. Personally, I prefer this Triumph Dolomite Sprint. That is very nice, viewers. It's one of the last of them, registered in 1980, which is the last year that the Triumph works at Canley. It's not too far from here actually operated. I have a real thing for these. I've owned a 1980 1500 SE that was similar to one of these with some modifications back in the mid-2000s, and this one looks great. You've got the Slant 4 2-litre engine, 16 to 20,000, and mileage is only showing less than 10,000, although has it been round the clock? I don't know, but it's very nice. Another Triumph here, 76 TR7 with 4-speed gearbox. They're mostly yellow. The 4-speeds are pretty rare. They weren't made for very long actually. Few sort of US markets things on the car like the bumper. Let's have a look inside. I think it's open. I drove one of these actually, when was it? In 2023. It was a 1980 car, which was a bit different from this. Look at that steering wheel, wow. This has a Slant 4 on it as well, but it's a different type of Slant 4 from the Dolomite Sprint, which is a shame. You could get a small number of TR7 Sprints, but they weren't very common. They seem to be playing the Elton John track in the background that was the closing theme for Top Gear for many years for some reason. I hope I don't get a copyright strike, viewers. Anyway, we'll have to keep going. 1984 Porsche Carrera 3.2 Targa Sport, 50 to 60,000 pounds. The ultimate specification, apparently. Well, I'll be judged of that. I quite like this well-tail views and rear wiper. It's actually open as well. Very nice, very clean interior. Good build quality there as well. Yeah, personal plate on this car. I wonder if that stayed with it. Right, next row here is this 1982 2CV Charleston with 12,000 miles on it. Estimate this is quite high. It's like 13 to 16,000. I'm not really the biggest expert on 2CVs. I know somebody who is, which of course a lot of you will be shouting at the screen right now. We will not mention his name at the moment, maybe at some point in the future. There we go. I personally prefer this Aston Martin. Like a luxury view, it's a 2007 DB9 Volante, 20 to 25,000, 43,000 miles. Part beige leather interior as well. Excellent. Next we've got this 1995 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. It's a sort of Jurassic Park shape thing, isn't it? But this is actually a bit nicer in some ways. It's got the petrol engine, which is good. The Sahara edition there. Estimate on this is 15 to 18,000 pounds. Looks ready to go to the Sahara, doesn't it? Right, probably the oldest car here is this 1922 Morgan Runabout Deluxe. 103 years old. I mean, I don't even know how you value something like this. I've never seen one before. You've got to be very friendly with your passenger to actually get in there, haven't you? Is that only 2 pedals? How on earth do you drive that? I don't know. Let's not even try viewers, because that looks a bit scary. A bit less scary is this 1960 Morris Mini Minor, early Mark 1. The name was changed to Mini in 1961 rather than Mini Minor. 10 to 12,000, like so many other cars around here. Looks okay, actually, looks pretty good. Croker and Bridger, of course. Best car dealership back in the 60s. 1953 Austin A30 race car, probably a bit more powerful than the 803cc engine was originally when these came out. 15 to 18,000 pounds. Got the small rear window, so definitely an A30. Then we've got Fiat WM Special. What on earth is this? I've never seen anything like this before. Bill Monk built F1 inspired 2-seat road legal special with Fiat 1500 motivation. Recently refreshed running order. It's a 2-seater. Is that road legal? It looks like it. It's got number plate on it, so I imagine it is. That's insane. 1993 Rover Mini Sprite that's been made to look like a Cooper in some ways. Again, these never carried Rover badges, it's just they were sold by Rover dealers and they were in the Rover catalogue, so that's how they're sort of registered. It's perfectly correct to call them that, it's just they don't have the badges on them. So it's one of the cheaper ways into one of these cars, won't it? We need a bit of work doing to this at some point, but the estimate's very fair. It's a 5 to 7, isn't it? Something like that. Then a minivan that's going to need some work. 79. Part completed, but not. It's quite finished. 6 to 8,000. Still got all the Mark 1 mini features on these, as I said in an earlier part. Another modified Mayfair here. This is a 86 1275 Special. The Mayfairs would originally come with a 998cc engine, like the one I drove in 2020, but it was a 1989, but still with the original 1 litre. It's very slow. This will be a bit faster. 8 to 10,000. Doesn't look too bad. It's pretty good. Something a bit rarer now is this Lotus 7 S4 with a twin cam engine in it. Originally it would have had a Ford engine. It's been sort of changed. Estimate 8 to 12,000. Similar to a Mini, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? Would you rather have a Mini or one of these? Answer in the comment section below. And then we've come across a Mark 1 Golf Cabrio. Now, these were made until about 1992, I think. The Mark 2 came out in 1984, I think. But these continued like this. It was actually in 85. So after the Mark 2 came out. 72,000 miles. Still got this amazing old style dash in there. Typical kind of 70s VW, that dash, with the absolutely tiny sort of minimalist controls on it. This one, amazing, is an automatic. Yeah, I've still got actually on this the smaller rear tail lights, which were before the 1980 facelift for the Mark 1. Of course, you need the boot openers a different way, so that's why they kept them, I think. Yeah, £4,000 to £5,000. Next, this 2005 Range Rover L322. This is a 4.2 V8 Vogue SE, £4,000 to £6,000. What is the first thing you do when you look at an L322? You open up here, you have a look at these arches, because yeah, there you go. And obviously you wanted to check with these that everything works. There's a lot of electronics in here. The dash will get pixelated, things like that. But it looks sort of alright. It's not an outrageous estimate for something like this at all. Why don't we go around the back, actually, viewers, as well, and see if we open the tailgate and everything. And we're also ultra non-compliant as well, which is brilliant. I think it's in here, isn't it? There we go, it is. You got the spare in there. Excellent. Let me find the lower handle. I feel like taking a break and sitting on my tailgate, viewers, but unfortunately I can't do that because we've got an awful lot more to film, so we'll have to keep going. Excellent, not rusty either. Next row, MGB. So what colour this is? It's not quite blaze red, I think it's a different colour. 67, stored in the 1980s. Reverse drive gearbox. That's a later interior though, isn't it? What's going on with this? It's sort of a mixture of different things. 8 to 12,000. Interesting. Another Mark III Capri here, but unlike the other two, or the three we've seen so far, this is a more basic specification. This one is an 82 2-litre GL. The GLs were replaced by the lasers eventually, like the S's, only for the 4-speed gearbox. Decent engine though, the 2-litre Pinto. Looks good actually, this. I mean, I feel like I want to feel it, you know, around the edges of the headlamps and things, to do it properly, but I'm not going to do that today. 8 to 10,000, excellent, that seems reasonable to me. Personally prefer the gear, but that's good. Another one of these XJCs. Obviously it's the Daimler badged one, so not called an XJC, but they're based on one of those. £6,000 to £8,000, 77 Daimler Sovereign 4.2. Do the rear bumper, couldn't we? That's, maybe it's missing or something. But I like those very much. It doesn't actually look too bad, that. It looks alright. Another R129 Mercedes-Benz, this time an earlier one from the previous one, the 99 we looked at. This is a 1993 500 SL. Estimate 628, the same as the Daimler. Very 90s colour, this kind of salmon pink type, isn't it? Hardtop has obviously not been on the car all the time because it's a different colour. Beige leather interior with wood and cruise control. Very nice, viewers. Very nice indeed. Move on now to this Citroën D Special. Relatively late for a DS, although they still have about 5 years to run at this stage. This is a 1970, 10 to 12,000, like so many other cars like this. I drove a DS last year finally. It was a say 64 South African specification model. This is a bit later though, being a 70 with the swiveling headlamps. And again another one from 1972 with swiveling headlamps, both left-hand drive. This one's a little bit more because it's a Palace, which is a higher specification. 16 to 20,000 pounds this particular one. Nice interior, isn't it? The later ones like this do have a bit more of a conventional interior. They're a bit easier to drive than the older ones. Then an Escort Harrier, obviously a Mark II Escort, which means it's going up in value as I'm looking at it. It's a little bit on the scruffy side, this Harrier, but it's still not going to be cheap, is it? Because it's a Mark II Escort 2-door. And yeah, 15 to 18,000 pounds. some light restoration. Is that light restoration, viewers? I don't know. What I know is that once you've done it, it'll be worth a lot of money because it's a Mark II Escort, so therefore that's the rules. Interesting pull handle MGB Roadster here. It's got a 63 plate, but it's down to 62. I imagine registered in 63. The paint could do with improving, I think, viewers, to be honest. Light refresh. Yeah, you could drive it around like this, I'm sure, but, you know, it'd be nice to do a respray on it. 10 to 12,000. Yeah, the early MGBs, a pull handle like this one. Gosh, yeah, you've got filler in it and things. Right, anyway, let's move on before I'm found out. MGC, for some reason it's really high up this. Obviously it needs the suspension adjusting. Where's the information sheet? Here it is. It's a 68 Sebring replica, 10 to 12,000, like so many other cars in here. Next we've got this E-Type. Series 3. It's the same colour as the one that I drove last year. I think it's at the same age, it's 72, 73, yeah, it is. Older restoration, lightly used. How many could drive around like this? 20 to 25,000 pounds. The only doubt is the fact that E-Type prices have fallen recently. I think that is evidence that they have. It needs presumably some like bumpers sorting out and some paint sorting out and things. Doesn't look too rusty though, really. I think I prefer though this Alfa Romeo 2000 Spider. Beautiful car. This is a 76. It's a Spider Veloce. 12 to 15,000. Substantial recent investment of £25,000. So it's obviously an older restoration. But it paints a little bit on the flat side. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's still a beautiful car. And then presumably going to come as Garage Find Barn Find 911. This is a 2004. It's a 997 Carrera S Tiptronic 14 to 18. Really could do with a clean, but that doesn't look too bad at all. I wonder how long it's been in storage. Another 911 here, 911 SC with a latest steering wheel, a gear lever. This one is an 82 911 SC Sport, 25 to 35,000 pounds. Is this a 2.7 Carrera RS? Not quite, no. It's a 911T with a 2.7 engine. It's meant to look a little bit like an RS. 40 to 45,000 pounds, wow. It's probably because it's only done 25,000 miles. Nice colour scheme on this. Have you got a ducktail on the back as well, viewers? Well, yes, we have. Personally, I prefer this Tolbrook Matra Morena from 1982. 2.2 engine that was used with Tolbrook Tagora. Manual gearbox. Quite close to a central passenger's leg. You've got to be quite friendly with somebody then. 8 to 10,000. So I'm not even sure these were ever made in right-hand drive, to be honest. I think even the ones over here were left-hand drive. And 3 seats, like the Predator Vigera. Right, this is going to be an interesting one to watch, viewers. Here we have a Ford Sierra Cosworth RS500 from 1988, one of the very last of these. 50 to 60,000 pounds. I mean, one of these sold for way more than that, didn't it? Moonstone Blue, this one. Well, you know, those of you who are watching after this has been auctioned, let me know what this actually achieved. Next we've got something else a bit later, but again, based on the same platform actually. Escort RS Cosworth, but again, these are very expensive cars now. They weren't cheap when they were new, but gosh, they are very expensive now. 1994, 50 to 55,000, I think a late addition into the catalogue. possibly. Yeah, that's interesting. Then we've got this, which is even more expensive, isn't it? Yes, the Mercedes-Benz McLaren, or was it McLaren Mercedes? I can't remember. SLR from 2007, £250,000 to £300,000. Mind you, they were sort of that one. They were new, weren't they? A very, very, very crazy car. I wonder if they even made any money on those, to be honest. I don't know. Then we've got this private sale sealed bids. Okay, 1964 Mini Cooper S in this iconic shade of green with a white roof. Direct from the ownership of Mike Brewer, 56 miles since restoration. See, the ballpark figure is £40,000 to £45,000. I wonder why he's selling that off. He does like minis, Mike Brewer, I know that. Another Fishmouth MGB here. This one is a 72. 8 to 10,000. Harvest Gold, there we go. 49,000 miles showing, although that could be, 149, I suppose. Yeah, older restoration. You could just drive around like this, or you could do it up, I suppose. It depends what you want to do. Mind you, I prefer this first generation Toyota MR2. Very, very nice view. It's facelift one. This is a 1987, £4,000 to £5,000. Yes, these are sensible second-hand classics money. So I couldn't believe. I am going to have a go in one of these, hopefully in a couple of weeks. I've been offered one. That will be fun, won't it? A bit more expensive probably is this Ford Escort. Another RS 1600i. Very appropriate number plate, isn't it? If you're a fan of a certain band. This is an 83, 15 to 18,000. So it's been in storage for a long time. You can tell that paint's going to need a good clean, isn't it? Next to it, something probably a little bit cheaper. Another Mark II Golf GTI. There's, how many of these in total are there? There's 4 of them, I think, for sale this time. So look at interior of this one. And then we've got the trip computer. Yes, we have. Excellent. Windy windows still there in the front, and no electric mirrors, but that doesn't matter. That's how I found it. Just leave it like that. It's an 8 valve, 5 to 7,000. And then we've got another big bumper one here. This is a 91. It's very late one, actually, 91. These are replaced sort of 91, 92, I think. 5 to 7,000 again. Both 8 valves. 16 valves are over there. They sort of separated them out for some reason. Maybe these were both in storage together, I don't know. So, a 1951 Sunbeam Talbot 90 Mark II saloon project. So this is the second one of these. This is 2 to 4,000. We're going to need a new door handle, aren't we? I better not touch the other ones. I don't want it to break off as well. That would be tragic. 2 to 4,000, one of the cheapest cars in this entire sale. But next to another Mini, it needs some assembly, isn't it? Quite a lot of assembly, in fact. What does it say up there? It's a 1986 Mini City E. 3 to 5,000. It's probably the cheapest one here. We've got various details on here that make it look like a Mark 1, like that front badge, which says Morris Cooper on it. I wonder what I would do with that. Would I want to make it more like an 86 Mini or leave it like a 60s replica thing? I don't know. I'm more interested personally in this 5 Series here. Very late one, actually. Very late. This is a 1995. It's a 540i manual, 2 to 3,000. Perhaps so is that Mini. It's going to need some restoration, isn't it? That wing is going to have to be replaced for a start. Be interesting, that, won't it? It's just open. Yes, it is. Oh dear. Need some WD-40 in there. Excellent. I've never had one of these actually. It wasn't a 540. Let's close that door properly, viewers. There. It was a 520 Touring. It was also a 95, an SE model, an automatic one. She had that for quite a number of years actually. So yeah, I know those cars relatively well. Got something here that's been definitely modified. So we've got bits to fit to it and things. It's in primer, isn't it? Right, let's just see on the window what this is. 63 Mark II Jaguar Saloon Project. 46,000. It's quite cheap for a Mark II. I mean, it's going to take a while to put it back together, but it looks okay. Needs finishing off. I prefer personally, though, this Daimler Sovereign from 1967. Again, around the same sort of category, about 4 to 6,000. It needs finishing off, but a bit more advanced stage. This one. Yeah, bumpers and things need refitting. Interior could do with some work. Not huge amounts of money. Apparently that's an ex-police car as well. Third car in a row, it's 4 to 6,000. It's this 1959 Mercedes-Benz 190B Ponton. That again needs, well, a little bit of love really. You could drive it around like this if you wanted to, I'm sure. It's obviously been in storage for some time, hasn't it? Or you could repaint it. I don't know how much that would be worth when it was done up. Another car at 4 to 6,000 pounds. It was 1981 C123 or 280 CE Mercedes. Actually looks quite nice. The paint's not too bad on this actually. Apart from the boot, that's quite bad. Yeah, the automatic. Nice ultra emission zone compliant tax-free car. Probably could do with an MOT and things as well, but yeah, you can use that in London, why not? Up yours, Mayor of London. And then a Rolls Royce. An early Silver Shadows, won't it? It'll be an early one. Oh, sorry, it's a Bentley, maybe it's rare. It's a 69 Bentley T1. 4 to 6,000 again. I don't know which one of these I prefer, viewers. I like the Mercedes, but I quite like this as well. These aren't necessarily that expensive. Again, you could drive it around like this if you wanted to. It could do with a repaint, or maybe just a sort of buff up or something. If you didn't want to spend all that money repainting it, it's pretty much the same as a car to paint, isn't it? Then a 190E. It's been modified a bit. Lot number 275. It's a 2.5 16. Excellent. 8 to 10,000 pounds, even though it's done 212,000 miles. I have driven a 190E, but it wasn't quite as fancy as that one. Right, viewers, we actually finished the auction, so we can have a look at some other stuff. Saab Enthusiast Club. What on earth is this? I've never seen one like this before. Wow. It's 95 Ute. There we go, yeah, well, 95 utility then. Don't know what is it. It's a 92B, viewers. No, it's not. It's 4 initial prototypes. Wow. Crazy. It's a really early Saab then. Trafficators on it. Let's just read this information sheet again. It's 1948 this was made, but registered for road in 1949. So it's a 92 sort of prototype. Wonderful. Well, we've got something from the 70s, this one. There we go. This is a 99. We've got the Slant 4 engine in here, and we've got the later type. Date registration 72. I suppose it could be probably the Slant 4 actually in here. If it's his early one. It's a little bit later than the other one I saw the other day. Maybe this is a slight facelift or something. Then we have a 900 Turbo. Of course we do. complete with a sort of biscuit leather interior. Very nice views. Such fantastic cars, these. This is 83, 84 on an A, like the one we saw at the auction. Then a later one here, a 900 convertible. This will be from 89 to 90. I did enjoy the one that I drove in 2023, but it was a very basic car. This is a lot sort of more higher end. I sort of prefer sort of more higher end ones. Right, we're going to skip that one there, viewers. Let's go and have a look at the estate. Right, viewers, unfortunately we ended up in the forbidden fuel zone there, so we were going to leave before we get caught by the Mayor of London or the council leader in Birmingham and all their friends around the country. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again in part 5 for some more incorrect information.